let's get into this. Best of 3, semifinal number 1. HawK versus Foggy. Game 1 starting on AZ. Is everything alright? No. And off we go. The best European Night Elf versus one of the best European humans. In the bottom left, HawK, who has defeated Todd in the quarterfinal in a mirror match. Foggy has had a mirror match as well. There was Please, both successful, both in the semifinals. The winner of this will play either Happy or Blade. So once again, the top 4 Europeans seem to be set in stone. Last week we had quite a surprise with Terra making it in the end. Once again, shout out to Ember, who is being a very good admin here today. So Foggy with the Warden again. Last time I saw this, he wrecked HawK on AZ. I think it was the second last time I saw this, because the last time HawK was already doing better. But it is an Archmage, so expansion or 1 base. On AZ, usually 1 base with high pressure during nighttime to deplete the Moonwells for daytime. And then the big push hits, and then there's no Moonwells to use anymore. I wonder if Foggy switches this up, and we're gonna observe these wisps quite a bit because Foggy's special creep route. We've seen that from Paladin earlier today with an Engine of War here, but this doesn't seem to be the case. Just a little bit of scouting and creeping, and if there's an immediate expansion, you can also detonate. Foggy not denying anything thus far, moves the Ancient away, continues creeping here, and no Footman lasted, no Engine of War lasted. That's a guaranteed level 2. HawK with the same. Just a little slower as per usual. So on this map, Shadow Strike build is more common. HawK is scouting for the Ancient. Takes a little bit of damage, but it's fine. HawK's creep is rather slow, I guess. Items not the greatest. But that's exactly what the Shadow Strike is for. And we see it in pretty much perfection here. Loses it to the creeps. Okay, that was a nice deny. Stopping the Warden's progress towards level 3. Foggy is retreating, teching. And HawK. Wait. Is expanding, okay. Pulls the creeps, so no boulders, no slow. But that's so risky. He's baiting Foggy into Fan of Knives. 1 militia already sent away. The archer was also sent back to the base, so the damage isn't the craziest thus far, but HawK with a reveal. Ouch, still the Fan of Knives, but lots of damage on Foggy's Warden. Needs to TP out soon, I guess. No, stays in there, trying to get the last hit, but HawK gets it with the big mana potion. We've seen more of this earlier today against Todd. And that was the win in the end. 1 more kill for level 3. That's the troll that should be easily doable. Chad is asking, is the Muslim not considered a top EU player? He is for sure, especially after his performance at Stay at Home Story Cup. But the top 4 are usually Happy, Foggy, HawK. You can count Cash into the top 5 and Blade. X-Lord is there for sure as well. So there's a little gap between the very top and the Muslim. But it's super impressive how quickly the Muslim gets great again. So we have a staff for Foggy and boots. No TP. Tech is at 50%, 70%. Hunter's Hall is in time as well. But that's a good expansion, I guess. There's still 4 peasants for lumber. And a tower is already in construction, so I like that early by HawK so far. I've seen this being punished way harder. Problem is, of course, a Warden doesn't harass only once. She's always coming back. And has more mana. Oh, the Arcane Tower timing is great, though. Everything seems to be working for HawK thus far. Creeps pulled away. This is Mercs for Foggy. Heavy tier 2 push. On AZ, we've seen Warden Naga. Could also play Warden Tinker, but for that it's, I think, quite early. Wait, did it? Okay, HawK didn't get it. It was Foggy in the end with the fan. That could be quite some experience if he kills that water elemental. The ration is almost full. But this is more experience for HawK. More experience taken away. Foggy has the better army for sure. Warden got level 3. And now it's time to choose... Yeah, Shadow Strike 2. HawK doesn't have boots. So Shadow Strike punishes this real hard. Still no tech. There we go. As he has the necessary lumber. Shadow Strike used. Couple of right clicks thanks to boots. Super tanky Warden with +6. But how deep is he willing to commit? Not into the Arcane Tower. Just hunts more units, and especially the water elementals are juicy experience. Rush tier 3. Not ultra fast because he went for Lorth before attack. So not feeling the need to rush anything right here. So for HawK, the chance for distraction pushes is kinda gone. Lords are already up. Way to tier 3 is there. Foggy's a little late. Moves out and doesn't see this coming, so shop's gonna be cancelled. No staff. But this Archmage is so exposed. With his expansion, he can easily afford a TP. He moved Foggy back, so Foggy couldn't creep whatever he wanted to creep. Level 4 is then delayed, but he can go easily for the natural and for the mercenary camp while his tier 3 is finishing. That should line up nicely with the shop, so then he gets staff and warp and all that good stuff. But for HawK, the town portal isn't too bad either. Ooh, Zeppelin. This is a high value region scroll soon. Mountain King is gonna be super... Blood Mage or whatever second hero is gonna be super happy. Blacksmith is kind of fine. More towers. This is getting expensive now. With 6 towers. But the progress of the Warden is not really visible. Will be here with level 4. That's a lot of footmen remaining. That's of course the downside of the Shadow Strike build. No big AoE, especially in lack of a Tinker, and it's not really worth to Shadow Strike one footman, as it's so expensive in mana over time. And without the Naga, you don't have control. That's why, for example, Moon is playing Warden with Naga to have still... Oh! Did he just dodge it? No, I think it's still hit. So, Moon is playing Warden with Naga to still have the opportunity to kill these footmen. And HawK can be really annoying. No sign of an expansion for Foggy. And still very limited levels. And he committed to Shadow Strike plus Fan of Knives, as it's oftentimes the case on AZ. So no blink. Alchemist second. No Blood Mage, no Mountain King. Just more AoE healing. Which is good. We've seen Blade with a Paladin here, but that was way earlier. without an expansion. That was one base, one base. So with this late game approach by HawK, Alchemist is the way better choice, as the main threat is not Shadow Strike anymore, where the Paladin shines with Holy Light, but Alchemist who has AoE healing versus AoE damage. Big last hit, level 5, alright. Boots of Kel'Thuzad, some decent right clicks as well, but only the staff here to get out, plus the invul. Fights his way through. Bears are ready, and HawK is caught between a rock and a hard place. Too much anti-air for the Zeppelin loader. That's too dangerous. If it burns, everything dies. So TP out. But still, he's on 2 bases. He can afford it. Going Sorks and Mortars now. In the meantime, Ancient of Wind. Yeah, there are no riflemen. Oi, this is gonna be sick. The Fairy Dragon damage is gonna be off the charts crazy. Tinker now, as the Warden is level 5, with Cluster Rockets immediately. Trading camps on HawK side of the map. Better trade for Foggy if it doesn't take too much time. Warden will make sure. Rifles coming into that mix as well. 2 only can deal with them. Mountain Giants and Fairies at the same time. Alright. No tier 3 yet for HawK. This could become an issue. Especially with Mountain Giants in the mix. Foggy still no counter expansion. And no harass at the expo. All the towers make sure that there's no harass really. Reskilled into Blink. Just see this now. Tinker progress is great. I like that. I think valuing the Tinker's AoE higher than the Warden's ultimate is fine in this scenario, as the problem is the army. So you have great solutions, double AoE plus Mountain Giants, but HawK is pushing before. Mountain Giants still take some time. They just started production. So that the Fairy Dragons. HawK gets 75 supply. This is gonna be super hard to hold. He has a heal scroll, big mana, and a scroll of healing as well. No Shadow Strike anymore. So Hero Focus would be an option. But the big Hero Focus mechanic's gone. So Fairy out. Mountain Giant 60%. This is a scary push. He just kills the workers. They're usually only there for a shop and to soak it up. So it's quite nice. Foggy with the detonates, but he can't really reach. HawK is blocking all the wisp. Now there's repair. And the AoE is sick, but the AoE healing as well. Mortar team's unreachable for Foggy. But they only do damage. Okay, now he's switching it up, and immediately the Giants explode. Tinker just got a lot better. Shredder is gone for HawK, who's down to 64 supply already, losing 10. And now there is Mountain Giants. How to deal with them? Warden finally reached the back with Blink. There was a heal scroll. That was the last heal scroll, I guess. Only level 1 heal wave. Heal spray. HawK is losing way too much. This Warden is full mana again. Slow does control her, but Blink helps against that. Perfect. Foggy's Warden control is so good. And with one fight, she's close to level 6. Fan? And Cluster Rockets behind. The timing of this double AoE. HawK is trying his very, very best to fight against it, but guess what? Foggy still has mana. Foggy gets way more kills. Foggy is completely out of control with the Cluster Rockets and the fan. HawK lost 30 supply in this fight and more. GG! What a hold! It was all working nicely. He sweat a little bit. He sweat a little bit when I think the push came in, then the Mountain Giants were in production. The Mountain Giants were in production. If he hits a little earlier... then it might work, but there was just too much. Tinker level 3, you know? That's a sick combo. And if you fight into Moonwells, the heroes always have mana. Let's try this again. It's Foggy 1, HawK 0 facing elimination. Foggy facing yet another grand final versus potentially Happy. All right. So, what does HawK have up his sleeve here? Instant Expo again. I think the idea behind the push was really nice. But, like, he's not on tier 3. He's on the timer. 75 supply? Maybe a little weird. Maybe like 70 supply is more normal, I think. And then the Mountain Giants join the fight later. I don't know. Maybe he waited just a tiny bit too long. But apart from that, the game was great. Like, especially the Expo hold was really good. The Warden had no business for a long time, but then once she reaches level 4 and retrains, it's a totally different game. So, we have the Warden again with the Ancient of War creep here, and probably a second Ancient of War creep here. I'm still not too sure how I like that. That's a lot of time you spend at the green. And Ewan can still punish your mercenary camp. I'm not too sure if I'm a big fan of this timing, but I'm not doubting Foggy at all. But this is kind of what happens, right? Footman scouts for this, Footman sees it, Footman wakes up the creeps, Footman switches the aggro to the Ancient of War, and immediately you're in trouble. Oh, that's a lot of bashes though. One will pick this up. Sneaky, sneaky through the forest. And with that it should be fine, of course. Can't really tank too much with his Ancient anymore. But he can just eat his tree buddies. HawK finishing level 2 before Expo. Calls Militia now. Goes for it. So he's getting level 2 now. Is it? It feels also slowed down. Of course it's a great item. And it's Merc Camp access, especially versus Water Elementals. Like, I see that you need this Merc Camp. And maybe it's too risky going for it immediately, because then this Footman thing happens as well. And things get stolen. Haven't made up my mind yet. But feels like every Night Elf is doing it at the moment, which doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. But usually Foggy has that all down. And he does. Talisman. Alright. Archmage is moving over, but there's almost nothing to kill anymore. Foggy's not going the Sonic way and go for this Engine of War harass. All in, which I think we see being held more and more and more. Again, I have to point out how great Todd's holds yesterday were. Level 3 Warden. That's what you get with green Merc. But HawK's Echo should be fine as well. Lots of lumber. It's gonna be rough for HawK to hold this. Archmage only level 2. Only gloves. Very limited mana now. That's the one water elemental, but he can dispel an attack. Tower not up. Ooh, I feel like AZ went a little better early. Has to call for militia. That delays the attack. And 3 workers dead already. And Warden, totally fine with this. Losing a couple of HP, no worries at all. Tier 2, double lore. Let's repeat this. I think it's again... Can he creep something? Move the Engine of War down. Okay, to the Murlocs first, then to the natural. Foggy doesn't seem to be a fan of counter expansions anymore. I kinda like it.
A player's forces are under attack.
You're playing pretty on the edge though. You can't lose too many units, but especially if the Scout Tower comes insulated, you can rely on Fan of Knives for the progress. That's really good. Staff is on cooldown though, this might be the TP. Once level 4 so bad for the blink. And there we go. Yeah, that's all he wanted. With the creep here at the same time, this works out perfectly. Invested into tech, double lore shop. This time HawK has no chance to cancel that. He's on the other side of the map. Oops, sorry.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Foggy again feels like he's doing parkour. Creep here, harass here, move back, creep this, move this over. Like he's everywhere. I love that playstyle when so much happens in so many spots. Info potion is neat. Is HawK expecting a counter expansion? No, he's not moving over. Not sure if he scouted it or not. They will meet in the middle with level 4. This could be a tinker. This should be just a feast for the Warden. Shadow Strike, good mana. Even the Clarity running. Todd not cancelling this. Now he does. That's close to level 5. The solo experience, the bonus experience on tier 2 is making the Warden so powerful here. Still missing the blink, so mobility is an issue. Gonna get an Alchemist again. He needs to level this, and how to level this Alchemist? We still have Merc and Murloc. But even 6 and 12 o'clock are gone. And you're not in a position to kill a lot of units soon. Tier 2 Sanctum Rifles. I think Foggy's playing good Warcraft today. We've seen weeks where He made it into finals as well, but we saw a lot of flaws and mistakes in his early rounds.
A player's forces are under attack.
And we got the Tome of Retraining. And you know what happens now? The nightmare of all humans on a map without Zeppelins. Anti-magic is so nasty. I really wonder if some human players wake up at night sweating because of this play. This is the worst. This must be the worst. It's either the undead tier 2, tier 3 harass against an expo or Warden. I think Warden is worse. Now he even has the resources for Tree of Life. Like, isn't it kind of ridiculous that Foggy has had 34 supply? Tier 3 is done, bears are coming, so supply is rising. HawK is kind of low supply as well. Expo into tech, this is what you get. That's an easy cancel, that's nice. Did you reveal this? I'm not sure. But yeah, this is wiped out. Does the Blood Mage even come back? Or come into play? Town Portal used to save this one. At least we have a level 2 Alchemist this time. Nice save by Foggy, and that's level 6. Yeah. How do you do this now? The Blood Mage comes in, but level 3 is even hard for an Alchemist. There's so many corpses already. Even the Archer kills are kind of good now because of the spirits. So yeah, it's a nasty game for HawK. Defending it this early. Something will fall soon, either Alch or Blood Mage or both. He did not enjoy his life.
Player's forces are under attack.
Starting the expo on the back of it. Spirits take care of the Echo once again. Archmage is also like, he's dropping some water elementals, I guess, and that's it. At one point, he feels useless. I mean, he's always a walking mana fountain, which is kind of nice, but this is so many spirits! Yeah, Foggy on Echo with his Warden is just completely out of control. I feel like, is it the right call? Like, I think this build is pretty cool with Alchemist and Blood Mage. But you commit 2 heroes just to counter 1 opponent hero. Avatar should be finished soon. Good for HawK to kill this Avatar. It is a big commitment and it feels necessary as well. Riju running lightning shield. Okay, that's kind of nice. No whisper anymore. Close to level 8, man. There's no way. Archmage and Alchemist both about to die. They're trapped with the Warden. Oh my god, going completely crazy. Triple kill. Bear still up. A tank is trying to get rid of this expansion, but oh boy. Blood Mage's left alone. HawK, this is... what do you want to do with it? There's an altar reviving the hero. Foggy is just ungodly great with the Warden. I think he's at least second best Warden player in the world, if not the best by now. There's just no match. There's just no match for him. Another kill. He doesn't even have Shadow Strike. Okay, well, I guess by now he has Shadow Strike back, but... Foggy never got to 50, right? It's just a Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball versus Sandcastles. I don't know, no one seems to have the right answer to it. It's just ungodly crazy play. Of course, this is only possible with the Warden and with nothing else. But still, you still need the skills to do it. I don't know. HawK is trying, but Foggy is having the time of his life, running away. Oh. Blinking again. Just waiting until there's mana again, and there should be Riju as well. He knows he's untouchable, or is he? Lols. Castle dead. 1 falls as well. That was a big chunk of experience. But does he really care? He's 1,500 gold. Kind of ruining a flawless game. Could have Riju'd, but... HawK is still in this. Expo wasn't cancelled, by the way. Engine of Winter coming. Foggy's at 1,700 gold. I don't know, I think...
A player's forces are under attack.
I think we can make an argument. Like, I think Foggy and Lawlight are by far the best Warden players. Lawlight was the best for like 5 years, but Foggy is at least up there. Foggy bias? Yeah, sure. I think it's obvious that HawK's kind of tilted. I don't know. There's no way. There's no way. I don't know. A little masochistic. By HawK for sure. Going talents now against a couple of tanks that we might see.
player's forces are under attack.
I don't know. Is it Blizzard by now? No, it's still Water Elementals. Finds the creep jack, but I think the 5 bears can just do it alone. Warden has a staff in the base, by the way. Could just pick it up and staff onto it. And that's exactly what he does. Will we see a level 10? That's kind of the question, right? That's the only question we have in this game. Will we see level 10? Is this a reaction by HawK because he left game so early recently that he stays until the very last unit now? AoE cancelled by swarm rockets. That's the biggest purpose. Alchemist dies as well. He could never afford a staff or anything. Just way too crazy. I think it's time for chimeras. Oh, just mountain giants. Okay.
A player's forces are under attack.
When did he buy that Tinker? It's not too long ago, right? Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. HawK wins this game. No way. There's absolutely no way.
Player's forces are under attack.
How long is this still running? 1,000. Okay, 9,000 here. And HawK is gonna be empty relatively soon. What do you do against the Warden level 9? He wants to walk in to save the mana, I guess. Okay. We have mountain giants now. We have fairies. We have almost dead archmage. Missed the cluster rockets. There's level 3 right now, and he can just continue to spam them. Invo potion, shadow strike level 2, fan of knives. Oh, this warden control is wonderful. Level 5 archmage falls again. GG, and Foggy makes it with a 2-0 into the grand final. Smells like a happy Foggy grand final once again, but if the Emperor can really follow and reclaim his throne, that is the question that we will answer in semi-final number 2. HawK really didn't stand a chance on AZ. It looked kind of cool, pushing a little to Nate, getting punished for it. Echo Owls was just Foggy's game from minute 2 on. Didn't get the creeping punished. Could unfold the Warden as much as he wanted to. And that's pretty much game. So, Happy vs. Blade coming up after a little break.